Hello there, Capricorn. Welcome back to Misfits of the Zodiac. My name is Ace. I'm doing a monthly spread for you for the month of September. I already pulled your cards for you. I get the feeling that one of two things is happening. You're either getting clarity and finding your own power, and you're meeting potential love interest, or you are reuniting with another part of yourself, and that's creating a lot of strength and a lot of inner power. And I feel that you're getting yourself out of a potentially toxic situation, and because you're not being valued. That's the feeling that I get from this spread. You start with the scythe, which is talking about blending things, okay? So you may have found a balance with what's going on in your life, but I feel like as a result of you doing this, you're going to have a victory, but it's not in like your typical way that you look at a victory. I feel like sometimes when we're put in a situation where things are not great, right? And we have had to do more work to find a balance and use what we have to create as close to the life that we want, or as close to the thing, whatever it is that we're trying to seek, as possible. And as a result, we get really, really good at working with almost nothing and creating something beautiful out of that. I feel like you're about to see some sort of victory as a result of you doing that for a really long time. And I feel like the victory is finally seeing that you're not being valued. This card, in this particular situation, this gentleman here is creating these beautiful knives here. And this gentleman is judging their worth, but he does not know anything about the craft. And so he's not valuing what this gentleman is creating. I feel like there's something about what you either do professionally or in your personal life, whether it's with a significant other and it's just not, you've been making it work, but it's no longer working anymore. And you're realizing maybe being separate from this person, maybe even just taking a break to see if you would be better standing alone, if that makes sense. Could really benefit you this month, because there's something about what you're doing, whether it's again business related. I'm leaning more personal related for this particular reading, and what I mean by that is there's some sort of relationship, whether it's a significant other, a friend, a family member, and they don't value you, and the victory is that you're going to finally see that. I know that sounds like a weird victory to have, but I think that you already probably have been getting some feelings that what has been going on is not working. And I feel like what you're going to end up doing is you're going to stand alone and you're going to find your own personal empowerment. Okay, so this is the Horn God. He takes care of all of these animals. One particular animal that I like to point out is this little raven who's talking in his ear. They're a sign of communication. You might be getting some either downloads from yourself, maybe from your unconscious, that's telling you, hey, this hasn't been working for a long time. I've been really working hard to make it work and blend everything. But I need to stand on my own 2 feet for a little while and see if that's actually better. There's a lot of people doing that right now, actually. A lot of people realizing their worth, and not in like a I'm better kind of situation. I'm talking about someone who has been doing all of the work when it comes to, or most of the work when it comes to interpersonal relationships, and they're realizing that it's almost better to deal with things on their own than to continue to stay in a situationship. That's what's coming to my brain, situationship. So I don't know, maybe you're not with this person, but you're dating this person. It's better to stand alone than to continue to do extra work to make it work, because it's not being valued, right? It's not being valued. I feel like about halfway through your month, there's going to be major upheaval. So I think you already knew the answer, but I feel like you get a solid, this is not working, as a result of maybe standing alone for a little bit, maybe taking a time out. Okay, so this is the Tower card. This is all about the foundation was not good to begin with, and something is crumbling so that something else can be rebuilt. This is usually pretty heavy energy, I'm not going to lie, but you have this Strength card next, which tells me that through this, you're going to find your strength again. You're going to be standing in your own power. This is all about power. This is all about personal power, okay? Personal strength. And that's not just like, I'm not talking about physical strength. I'm talking about mental fortitude, okay? So you're going to kind of find your own resolve and realize that you're the queen. You're the king. It doesn't matter the gender. You are in your own power, okay? And you are finding resilience and strength in the upheaval, whatever this is, okay? I feel like it could potentially come about 2 weeks in. It's the beginning of your second row. So I feel like, as a result of you doing that, a change is gonna come. That's such a beautiful song. Look it up if you don't know that song. It's a great, great song. Change is gonna come. It's a beautiful song. It's one of my favorite ones to sing. I'm a musician, so it's like, there's something about that song that makes me want to cry like every single time. When I'm feeling really low, there's something about that song that just like gives me hope. And I think that was what that song was meant to do, honestly. I feel like you're finding hope, and there's a major cycle that is closing out and a brand new cycle that's beginning. I feel like you are untrapping yourself. So this is the Devil card in the normal tarot. This gentleman is setting a trap here, and there's a bear behind him and these fawn behind him as well. He can either trap himself or he can set himself free. That's the choice of this. You can either continue to do the same thing, or you can start this brand new cycle, let things fall away, and move into the new cycle. And I feel like for some of you, you might be finding a significant other or someone better suited for you, because there's a potential divine counterpart coming in. You have the Queen of Wands and the King of Wands. So these are both obviously fire signs. I know that you are an earth sign. This feels, though, to me, if you're not in a relationship or you're not, struggling within that relationship, this could just be you and your higher self here, or another part of yourself that you're reconnecting with. And it's bringing a lot of strength. It's bringing a lot of stability. It's making you feel that, like, passion for life again. And I feel like it's going to help you with this, like, sense of discontentment with the Four of Cups. And you're going to get clarity about what's not been working. I feel like you already knew that, but you're going to get definitive clarity. And I think working through this tower energy, whatever this is, that's crumbling, allowing it to crumble so that you can rebuild something, it's going to be so much better than what it was. And you're not going to have to be doing this, like, blending anymore. You're not going to have to be dealing with people who do not value what you're bringing to the table anymore, okay? Because you are either reconnecting with parts of yourself that you haven't been connected with in a long time, or you're finding a divine counterpart that doesn't ask you to settle. That may sound really right to the point, very blunt, but you know what? I'm going with the Ace of Swords energy. That's what this feels like to me. I don't do a lot of like love readings, but I feel like that could potentially be what's happening here. I'm also being drawn all of a sudden to this peacock here, and I feel kind of like, because the little feather is in this gentleman's hat, I feel like this person maybe have peacocked their way into your life. And by that I mean they kind of put up all these qualities that they said that they had, and then when you get into the relationship you realize, wow, they don't have any of these. Like they're not, they used it to get me to be interested. But then when I finally invested, I'm realizing now that they don't possess these qualities. Okay. Also, I'm getting from this peacock energy, because the peacock itself is near you. That's telling me that, again, the value is here, not here. Okay. So the peacock, a lot of the time, sometimes this could also be like, could get a little spooky for a second, but if you are in touch with and you believe that people pass, there could be someone that loves you very dearly, that's trying to send you downloads, trying to give you signs. If you see a peacock this month, that could be a sign from, or if that is significant to you, this is going to be a very small group of you, but that is your sign that this makes sense for you. Or there's something, when you see the peacock, pay attention to the world around you, because there might be something in that moment that you're supposed to pick up and you're supposed to see. Okay. I feel peacocks sometimes, for me at least, they have this weird like grandmotherly quality to them, and by that I mean they almost like have this like ancestral vibe. People who have come before us kind of offering information. So I feel that if you are open to that kind of communion with spirit, you could get some sort of sign this month that's going to help guide you in some way. Just know that they're looking out for you and they're trying to send you guidance. So be aware of that this month. Okay. I am going to pull one more card for you, which is from my Wild Things Oracle deck, to summate this. I feel like there's going to be some potential tough energies this month, but I feel like it's going to benefit you so much. If you can just go with it and continue to blend the energy, but realize that this situation is not, I keep hearing situationship for some reason, is not working for you, it's probably time to move on. You got 2 cards. So keep that in mind this month. That's so interesting. You have allow anger and tend to your partnerships. Interesting. Allow anger and tend to your partnerships. I feel like as a result of you not being undervalued for I feel like this has been a significant amount of time for some of you. And you've been dealing with it. You've been making it work. You're going to have unexpressed anger potentially. So allowing that, writing it down, getting it out of your body, maybe doing some walks or some exercise, maybe taking up like a kickboxing class, or obviously you got to go with your own discretion. I'm not a health provider or anything like that. So do what's good for you. But finding a way to work through some of that anger, I think, is going to be really beneficial. And valuing that anger, turning it into something, maybe transmuting it into some art of some sort. And I think looking for the friendships or the relationships in your life that are valuable, the people that do care, the people that do value you, is going to reinforce what's not working in this potential partnership, if that makes sense. Okay, so seeking significant others around you, and I mean significant others, not your significant other. I'm talking about seeking people who are significant in your life, people who you know you can trust, is going to help you navigate getting out of this potential toxicity that you're in at the moment, okay? And working through the anger is going to also help you set yourself free, because you're not going to hold it in your body, if that makes sense, okay? That is what I have for you. I hope that this helped. If this resonated at all, I would love to hear from you in the comments. Maybe get a like or subscribe and have you come back as a misfit. And I will see you next month for Spooky October. I'm very excited. All right, I'll talk to you guys later. Bye.